Hi everyone, it's time for another Agent Arcade video. Today I'm going to be showcasing using N8N. Agent Arcade, one of our principal beliefs is that the platform should be open. We should be able to support any protocol or any toolkit that people want to create agents with. And so today I'm going to show you a platform called N8N. It's a really cool low-code platform, a lot of drag and drop functionality, and it has like 500 different integrations. So it's really cool, and it's somewhat like AI native. So it's really cool for building really complex agents very easily. Um, so yeah, let's jump into it. And I'm going to show you a couple things today. One, how to create the most basic sort of agent using N8N, but then I'm going to show you a really cool advanced feature of the platform, which is that we allow you to post follow-on messages to the conversation after your initial message has been processed. So like the use cases for this is, let's say you've built a deep research agent and you go and start the process with the user, say, hey, I'm going to go do your research task. I'll be back in 30 minutes. And then 30 minutes from now, your agent can go and post the results of that research task. Or you can build an agent which, say, monitors the weather for the user, and there's some weather alert in their area. The agent at any point in the future when that weather alert happens can go and add to the conversation and say, hey, you've got dangerous weather in your area. So yeah, so let's get right into it. And actually, the N8N UI has a lot of stuff that's over where my camera is. So we're going to just show the browser this time. So to start out, I've got an example agent here for N8N. I want to highlight a few things here on how we set that up for N8N. So one thing, we're going to use an API key, and this is a key that you're just going to make up for your integration, something unique. And it's going to be used basically to ensure that it's only the platform that's calling your N8N instance. So it just like keeps things secure, that you don't have random people on the internet calling your integration. Protocol is message list. So a message list is going to send JSON with a JSON list with a participant and then a message that they send. So the last message that we're going to use on here is going to be the last message from the user, and so this list is going to be used by the N8N integration. Endpoint, I'll show you that, where you get that in N8N as well. One thing I'll note here is you can put N8N in like a test mode, or when you publish or activate your flow, you'll have an active or a prod URL. For testing, you'll usually use webhook-test, and N8N will give you that. And then when you've published it in N8N, it's going to just be webhook. And the UUID, the end of this, is just going to be the same. Anything else to highlight in here? Yeah, I think I've got that. I've got that. And yeah, so let's go over and look at things on N8N. So this is our N8N flow, and I want to highlight a few things. Like I mentioned, the request is going to be coming from our platform via a webhook. So your N8N instance will be listening on some webhook URL, and I'll show you how that node is set up. Like I said here, you've got production URL or test URL that you can use if you're all your testing and development. You'll use the development test URL, but most of the time you'll use production after you've published it. Method here is post. That's important. Authentication is none, and you can just leave that alone. And then, so your webhook, we're going to make sure random people aren't coming in and using your webhook, that you're only getting calls from the platform. So webhook's going to pipe into a conditional, and we're going to look for a header. This authorization header is going to be a value of bearer by key. So this is the key that you set in the agent config in Agent Arcade. If it's false, if the user's coming in with a bad bearer, then we go to unauthorized here, and we're going to respond back unauthorized, and we're going to send a response code 403. So that keeps random people from calling this. Okay, but the request came in, it's been authenticated, it's going to hit this AI agent. We've got this AI agent set up. It's going to be using OpenAI chat model. You can use any model you want. And then it's going to have a window buffer memory. So a couple things in the AI agent. It's going to be getting a message. We're going to be looking at that message list is sending a list of all the messages, and we're looking at the last message in that list because that's the one from the most recent message from the user, looking at the content there. So be sure to set that as the input for your AI agent. And then the other thing that's important here, so we're going to use window buffer memory. And so what window buffering memory does is keeps track of, let's say you have this agent is hired out by 3 or 4 different users and it's in 3 or 4 different conversations. This is how N8N is going to keep track of the state of this conversation and not intermix it with other conversations. So it's going to keep this buffer memory specific for this conversation. And the key we're going to use for that is a header that we send from the platform, X conversation ID. And that's going to be unique to that conversation that's happening in that workspace. And then, of course, we have the Wikipedia tool here. There's not much settings there. You can make your workflow as complex as you want, but this is just a basic demo. This is not an N8N demo. It's more of a demo of how to integrate N8N to the platform. So AI agent generates its response based on its data. It's going to send the data to this webhook node, which is the response from the initial request. So you're going to respond here with plain text, and then it's going to be the response coming from the AI agent. Like whatever the AI agent node has responded, this is what we're going to get returned. So cool. That's super basic how to set up a basic N8N integration with Agent Arcade. Let's go play with this. Let's make sure the webhook's set up right. Get that production URL. Pop it in there. And let's start a chat with this agent. So, yeah, that's going out to our N8N agent. N8N, the agent is looking it up in Wikipedia, and it's giving me a response. So that's like a basic, that's the most basic kind of N8N integration. Let's go look at something more complex now, though. We're going to look at the web callback version. So this is where we can have our agent respond immediately with something, and then later give another message. So things to note here. After we authenticate the user, we've got, instead of our webhook response node being at the end of the string, it's like the next thing. And all I've got in here is it's just responding, saying working on it. If it was like, you might have it go to an LLM, do a little churning, give a different response, and then do a much longer task later or whatever it is. But in our case here, we're just going to respond immediately back. Okay, we're working on your request. So then from there, we go into the AI agent. That's the same as the previous workflow. But here's where a lot of the magic happens. So the magic happens in this HTTP request, which is implementing our callback. So Agent Arcade sends a bunch of headers up. One header it sends up that we're going to use in this case is X conversation callback, and that's going to be a URL that'll tell the integration where to go and do a HTTP post with additional messages. So we've got that set there. We're going to send a couple other headers as well, and these have come from the Agent Arcade request, and we're going to use them for the response. There's two things we have here, X participant ID, and that's identifying us as the participant in the conversation, the agent, in other words. And then the key is what we use to authenticate. Hey, I'm this agent in this conversation. Here's how I prove that I'm this agent. So setting up both of those lets Agent Arcade know that this is an authenticated request. And then we're going to send up some JSON as a response. We are just going to send a message field. So it's JSON, message field, and then the response from the AI agent. So let's look at how this looks when we use it. We'll grab the production URL. We'll go plug that in. And then we'll create a new chat. Let's see. So we're asking it, tell me about the Titanic. Did it have sister ships? What were their names? So I get that first message back that says, working on it. That was a response to my webhook. And then it went and did those, did the research, and then it used that callback URL to post a second message here that has a bit of information, has the information I requested. Yeah, so that's how you go and integrate N8N with Agent Arcade and use the callback functionality, which is a really cool feature that I like a lot. Thanks for taking the time. I can't wait to see what y'all build and publish on the platform. I'm excited to see, these cool integrations be used. So again, we're agentarcade.net. That's where to find us. And go ahead and join our Discord, and we're happy to answer any questions or help you get your application deployed. Have a good one.